Let's do our intro and then we go right into it.
Yes, JD.
Hey, everybody, quiet. Welcome, guys, to another great episode from the Urban Paranormal Podcast, where you might be crazy to some,
but your
family to us. Hey.
What up, what up, what up?
And as normally, I'm your host, JH.
And I'm your moderator, Trent A. Johnson.
Anchorman Dave R. reporting for duty.
Reporting for duty.
And this man has never been in the military.
Never.
So
that explains the DECA.
yeah,
I know, DECA.
Yeah. Right. So we also have across from me, we have returning Mr. Big David. You guys love him so much with his mellow voice.
Great to be here, guys.
There
Be
you
a great
go.
show tonight.
There you go. And of course, we have a repeat offender, Ego Network.
I'm so thankful for being here, as always.
There you go. There you go. We have one of our sponsors who decided to be on the panel today, the beautiful Mrs. Rachel.
What up, Rachel Ray?
Hi,
Rachel.
Right. Exactly. And also behind who's working this whole thing out, we have the weatherman. You don't see him.
Right. That's probably a good thing.
Well, yeah. Well.
It'll be a clear night tonight.
Yes.
Right,
And directly behind me, it is the most beautiful Voices of Erica. One voice.
Voice. The boy said the voices of Erica.
Yeah.
Voice.
Is she Legion?
There you go.
Wow.
So, guys, what we're going to be speaking about today is cults
And cult leaders.
and cult leaders, and
Yeah, and
it's so many.
yeah, and I know y'all used to seeing us on Saturday,
Right.
but this is a different day. We had some stuff going on, so we moved to Sunday just for today.
Just for the day.
Yeah.
You know, so here's the thing. Cult leaders, right? There's a couple of things you need in order to be a cult leader. So this is Jay giving you guys this, instructions on how to create your own cult.
Oh shit.
Yes, tell them how to do that, man.
Right.
Do we need a waiver first?
Oh yes. This is all from me.
I know, right?
Right.
Don't try this at home.
DSB
Jay's
and
views,
right.
Or not the views of the Urban Paranormal Podcast.
There you go. So you have to have a strong belief in something, whatever it is. I don't care if it's tennis shoes or whatever. I don't care. Something small. You take that information, and you have to have a charismatic, how do you say it? Leader.
Charismatic.
There you go. Leader. That people tend to like and gravitate towards, right? When you have those two together, right? Then you need a group of people you talk to, maybe give drugs to, but you don't take any of the drugs. And while they're tripping, you talk to them more about your beliefs. And that's a form of brainwashing, and therefore, they're going to tell other people how cool you are. And next thing you know, you're going to have the Chase family.
Jay's
That's
family.
it.
There you go.
That sounds good, man.
So that would be your cult?
Yeah, the
Jay's family.
Right.
Okay.
There you
Jay's
go.
family.
There you go.
Y'all watch out for that shit.
It's really about breaking them down, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the drugs, the different things.
They let them come in, and the people are very lost.
I
Vulnerable.
don't think
Yes.
it's so much
Yes.
And they're
breaking
looking
down.
for looking for love sometimes.
It's the vulnerability
Yeah.
of them, and makes them more susceptible. You know, they want to feel needed,
Right.
and wanted. So you give them a sense of self
and
Or
belonging.
and belonging, and that's what they're looking for.
Isn't that how
Whether-
gangs are done?
Exactly.
Gangs
Same
are done the
thing.
same
They
way.
replace the family,
Right.
and that's what the cults do. They replace the family and the family family unit.
Yeah, they separate you from your own family.
Right.
And they do it by giving you a promise that they never do deliver in exchange for either money or for something else.
Wow, sound like you've been in a cult, David.
No, my brother has been telling me about what happens in the cult and so forth.
He's in one.
He's in one.
Guys, come on.
No.
We're talking about Joaquin Phoenix, for example. Joaquin Phoenix's family.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, thank you. Joaquin Phoenix's family was in a cult, and that was one example how the cult can, mess
said
up.
your brother.
That was your brother, Joaquin Phoenix. Your brother. You related to
My
him?
brother is Eric Romo. I know you guys are effing around. So anyway,
He tested tonight. He
we're
tested.
trying to understand.
Yeah, you said it.
Salty.
Your
No,
brother's
no.
in a.
No, my brother learned about Joaquin Phoenix's family that they were in a cult.
Okay.
They gave their money. When they got out of the cult, Joaquin Phoenix's family was left with barely nothing. I mean nothing. So Joaquin Phoenix was suffering through depression, emotional issues and so forth. And when he was able to get rid of that pain through his acting, into the set or whatsoever, you see the very best in him, like movies like Gladiator and finally Joker, which personally, it emotionally got my attention.
Okay, that explains a lot. I
guess. They didn't play shit to me. I just found out that Joaquin was part of a cult now. So that's about
Which
all
cult
I
is
His
it,
brother
David?
died really young.
Huh?
His brother died really
Yes,
young.
he did.
Yes,
He
the
did.
River Phoenix. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But now it makes sense of why he decided to do the part for the Village.
Yes.
It makes sense now. The Village. Yeah, it makes sense why he
Well,
would
if
do
you're
that.
looking at Hollywood too, I mean, you got Tom Cruise and all those guys.
Scientology.
Scientology.
I remember growing up and you would see Scientology reading rooms in the malls.
Oh wow.
And, and I mean, in the malls, I mean, up there, especially Greenspoint Mall had one.
Didn't know that.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and they would recruit people. Hey, come in here,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
hey, read these books and
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was date myself. That
And
was in
that's
the
a-
early '80s.
That's a strange one.
Yeah, it was early '80s.
Scientology.
It's alive and kicking.
From his
Well,
book.
hold on. But
Yeah.
why do you say it's strange? Why would you? I think it's like legit.
Because it's founded by L. Ron Hubbard.
I don't give a damn if it was founded by Martin Luther King or Richard Pryor.
But L. Ron Hubbard is a sci-fi writer.
I don't care.
So that means it would be easy for him to come up with this
He came up with
amazing story. Do you know the story of who the Scientologists?
No, please deliver it.
They worship a space alien
Okay.
that started some type of war. What his name is Zemu.
Okay.
That's a sci-fi story by a sci-fi writer.
And there are these group of people called Trekkies.
Okay.
They worship.
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, you got
Right,
people
they-
out there.
they worship
you go
that.
There's music
What's wrong
groups
with
too.
that?
You got,
But
you
are
got
you gonna-
Bearcats and
Are you going to leave your
other
family
people. Yeah.
and put all your money into being a Trekkie? No. These people put all of their money into Scientology and they can't have contact with their family and shit.
Because their family wouldn't understand.
I think that's way different.
Well, there's
man.
different
You trying
levels
to
of
put-
Scientology. Once you move up through the channels, when you get to, you're on their compound and different things that they're, you're definitely going to be separated from your family.
Well-
and they're
sometimes-
controlling every part of your life.
Yeah, they control every
Say,
part of
say,
your
say the
life.
next. Okay, I wouldn't
They
say.
control every part of your life.
No, I thought you were going to say the next part. In some compounds, they encourage you to bring family.
To bring your
Well,
family in, yeah.
I think you need to dig into L. Ron Hubbard to really look at Scientology.
I don't care about the man himself. It's about the message.
Well, okay, and what's the message?
I don't know. Science.
So why are you so?
I like
into it?
I like it because for one, it has no basis here on Earth. It's comes from somewhere else, right?
Well,
of aliens. So I like that.
A lot of the cults are UFO cults.
Okay.
Like Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, and
Yes.
this is
Heaven's
one of them.
Gate.
Yes.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised at the famous members of Scientology.
Okay. Go ahead. Spit them out for
So
us.
we have Tom Cruise,
Yep, jumping on the couch.
John Travolta,
Yeah.
Cool dude.
Kirstie Alley,
Yeah.
Very
Kirstie
cool.
Alley, ooh.
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
he
He
did.
did.
Nicole Kidman,
Awesome.
and this one that shocked me, Dougie Fresh.
There
Dougie
you
Fresh.
go.
I know Dougie Fresh.
There you go.
Really?
E. Fresh.
That is so dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. I like that.
Yeah, their god is actually named Zemu, and he's the dictator of the Galactic Confederacy.
Okay.
Looks like he's
you
playing too much StarCraft.
You didn't say the most famous of all of them.
Well, who was the most famous?
J.H.
Oh, wow. Get the fuck out of here, Jay.
Hooray for J.H.
That was
Hooray
one
for
star.
J.H.
She got away. She's been talking a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's
the
a
one
few
J-Lo
of the
friend.
defectors, yeah.
She's an actress.
Okay.
Yeah, she got away, and she's been talking so much crap about them.
She's
a few
actually
of
them.
she's actually
For years,
started. She actually started on a show called Queens.
Yes, that's it.
Queens,
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
her.
Yeah.
Well, to get your courses started, it's only $650.
Right.
See, small price.
Yeah, and then to get out your book package is $4,000 for all the books you're gonna need.
That's wild.
You have
They
to,
make you
have
study.
to, but you have to support the author.
You have to study though.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
want
the
to
author's dead.
No, but the books that you're going to receive, the author, the person putting them together. You got to
No,
study
L.
that.
Ron Hubbard is dead.
You have to support. Just because he dead don't mean you don't support.
Well, that builds
I guess so.
the cult bigger,
Right.
make it
There
bigger.
you go.
So you can stretch out. Your tentacles can stretch out.
Right.
You can get more people.
I still bought Michael Jackson Thriller. I'm supporting
And,
Jackson.
and then there are random audits, and the audits are $800 each.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's like a confession.
Yeah.
You're sitting there and they just break you down and you confess about everything you've done in your life.
okay. I mean,
Sound like
And
some
they
fucking
also
psychos
mentally
to me.
abuse
that,
people,
psychos.
too.
There is the Christians. The Christians, that shit sounds just like them. The Catholics, that shit sounds just like them. These are all cults.
Okay.
Well, what about you think about that, but then you get into Mormonism. I mean
Yeah.
that's
Wasn't it John Smith who made that or something, or that's who was supposed to be? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, found had the angel came to him
And told him how to write the shit. Yeah. And then they put it down, and then had to write it again. Yeah, it was awesome. It was
South
not even
Park
the
made
same.
fun of it on that
yeah,
one
I remember
episode.
that episode, but that's what used to be cults was just people would call mainstream religions that you didn't like. If you no matter what your religion was, that was a cult.
Some
If
are
you were
so
a Baptist
extreme.
and the Lutherans were a cult because everybody was different.
Well, what's the
So-
difference between a cult and a religion?
One has a tax credit and the other one doesn't.
Right.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Exactly. So I guess it's being recognized, basically.
Being recognized.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, Scientology is recognized.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, a cult also, separates you from families, like we all previously discussed too. And they just, take your money, which is a lot more extreme. Like instead of just 10% of something, they would take all your
All of
earnings.
your money.
Scientology got money too, and
Oh,
power.
yeah, they got a
probably.
lot of money.
Probably a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of power too.
Yeah, they take all your money and you just destitute to them.
Exactly.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So here go the thing. You guys talk about, cults and different things of that nature. And we've known about them for a long time, but did you know that there was a in 1990. I stick with 1980. I'm sorry, 1980.
Get your years straight, bro. Come on.
1980.
Yeah.
Before that, remember Salem, 1600?
Right.
How they had the witch
the
trials?
witch trials,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in 1980, they had the same thing, and they're still having it today, except it's called the Satanic Panic. So
That was the
Interesting.
80s.
1980.
Yeah.
Satanic
Satanic.
Satanic
Mhm.
Panic.
So it all started from this guy who wrote this book, and it's called Michelle Remembers. So she talks about how she was given to a cult at 2 years old, and they did all of these things to her. And so this man is writing it all down, and he puts this book out in 1980. And when everyone reads that book, it instantly overnight becomes a smash hit. They even decide they're going to make a movie about it with Dustin Hoffman playing the guy his name is Lanzar, the writer, but he's a doctor, physician. Well, bro, it became such a big thing. So you have to understand that police were calling this man to say, "Hey, is this a ritual killing?"
Right.
And then Satanic Panic was not only just from that, because you have to look at the
Well,
80s.
You got to look at because
Because
The
it
rock
was
bands.
the rise of heavy metal.
Yeah.
you remember what was going on.
Metallica.
Right.
It was the rise of several
Punk.
things. The Dungeons and Dragons type
Right.
thing
Right.
was coming around. You know what I'm saying?
But we had the rise of satanism when you remember Matamoros going on at the border of Mexico and Texas.
Oh, yeah,
They were the
Matamoros.
satanic drug cults.
Right.
You know, I mean, he started those before we even had cartels.
Right.
And they were like chopping people's heads off. And
Right,
doing
but what I'm
rituals.
saying, when it's reason why it's called the Satanic Panic is because your neighbor next door to you, 1980,
Right.
can call the police thanks to Michelle, what's the name, remembers that book, and say you are a Satan worshiper, and the police will come out and get your ass.
I was alive in
And
that.
charge you with what?
Yeah, with that basically being a part of a cult and a ritual. Now remember, just so you understand, there was so many people today. Like there's still people in prison today from that. Still people, and most people.
Well, was
are
there any
financially
proof of it?
Yeah.
What type of
No,
proof? Yeah,
that's what I'm telling you. It was just
burden of
like the
proof somewhere
Satan.
there.
Right, it's a Satan.
So you saying in the 80s there were
1980. His name is.
that was
In 1980, the book came out, and that is what the police start calling this man all day long, all over the United States, and saying, "Hey, is this a ritual killing? Is this?" And it was only his word.
so he was basically like their expert.
Correct, and
wow.
he created the term. So her name is Michelle Smith, and that's Michelle. Remember, they made a ton of money off this book.
Wow. Well, what do you think of when you think of a cult? I think of motherfuckers in dark robes.
I think of Jim Jones.
I think of sacrifices.
That's like the first one that comes to my mind.
Yeah, I think of like orgies.
Yeah.
I mean, you know
Sex
what?
cults.
Crazy stuff.
No.
you know? Yeah.
I
I'm
get what
just
you're saying. Just how the way the TV has put it out there.
Yeah.
Right, secret organizations, the cults.
I think of Heaven's Gate, based on the 1970s that they brainwashed.
Can you get on your mic, David?
I think when I think of cults, I think of members of Heaven's Gate that God was an alien. That's the first thing that got in my
that was
mind.
the crazy one. They had like 39 people.
yes.
And all of them had their
think of
Nikes on.
too.
Oh,
I think of
yeah,
the dark
totally.
Motherfuckers in the robes.
No, I
Yeah.
think
8
I
men
don't.
castrated themselves.
I don't think anyone
Damn.
perceives Heaven's Gate is the ideal cult. I think that was something new.
Yeah.
I think most people perceive the cult, Jim Jones, the
Manson family.
That one was
Right.
really weird because his whole thing, he got people to believe that aliens was going to come and take you out of your
Basically,
vehicle.
yeah, basically
he called your
all of
body a vehicle.
It
And
is,
when
basically.
you die, when you commit but when you commit suicide,
You get on the
then
ship.
that's the way you're able to get on the ship.
Wow.
And
What-
you come back
yeah.
as those little aliens, the little aliens that we always see from the 50s.
I don't always
Little
see.
When
no
from the
fucking
50s,
aliens.
from the movies from the 50s that you see,
Okay, now.
they look all strange and stuff.
Okay.
But I think nowadays what we're getting into, especially with social media in the past 20 years, the internet or 25 years of the internet and stuff, is the definition of cult's changing. Because the cult is not so negative anymore. Because when you're looking at some of the definitions of people that are in a cult, they got similar goals, that they want. They have similar beliefs. The internet's bringing a lot of disenfranchised people together, and they're forming groups.
Right.
I mean, we've seen it. Just
QAnon.
recently, QAnon, big QAnon. We've seen it in January.
MAGA.
Magna. We've seen, and using groups and cults. I call them cults now to polarize people.
Wow.
And it's kind of getting a very dangerous thing.
There's 6,000 cults in
and
America.
so when you look at it, and it's changed a lot. It's just not satanic rituals anymore.
Well,
or anything else.
I think that the Trump supporters
Was a cult.
fit all the criteria of a
Right.
cult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can
Yeah,
be.
definitely.
Can be.
The MAGA cult. That's the biggest
Right.
cult.
Well, they was fed a lot of lies, and
definitely.
and they didn't care if they was fed lies.
And that's what happens, because everybody get disenfranchised. I would tell people all the time, people that I know were Trump supporters, I say, you really think somebody's coming to get your stuff from you?
Right.
They have all these excuses on everything, and you can denounce nearly 100% of them.
Yeah. Well,
And it's but it's dangerous. It's really dangerous.
And he still has control of the
you have
Republican Party.
the charismatic leader.
exactly
Right.
That's
You have the
charismatic leader.
brainwashed people. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
That's
like I
always
said,
the basis of every cult.
You have the separation.
Yeah.
He definitely separated people.
Yeah.
From each
I
other.
always think about what y'all talked about a long time ago about the frequencies. That some people are at low frequencies.
Right.
So those people are very easy to get to, and to turn their minds and bring them into the cult.
But
Wow.
but let's be honest though. That's not difficult because everyone has their own trials and tribulations they go through. Some people get beat up mentally. Some people beat up physically. Some people, have a whole lot of hardship.
Yep.
And yet they meet this person who can speak to them in their own way. Everyone else talk back
Someone
at
that they can see hope in.
them. Right.
Yeah.
They understand them. They're not telling them just get over it. They understand them. And so they follow. And I don't think that's, I want to say low frequencies. I want to say that's.
I would say that.
I would say that low
Nah,
frequencies.
Yeah,
everyone,
I would say that.
Because you're susceptible to be taken like
Yeah,
that.
right.
Your
Gotta be.
mind
You just
to be
want
broken.
I just think more people because the internet and everything we see now with social media, Twitter, or whatever, people are more reachable.
Yeah.
So
Right.
now you have a lot more of it than you did. I mean, it took Jim Jones years and years to put people together
gotta
to
build that
people's
foundation.
temple.
And I think he's
You know?
I think he's the
And
biggest
he was
in
a
history.
mastermind, and he
Yeah.
used religion, had all these people brainwashed where they drink the poison Kool-Aid.
That was
You know?
nine-
He had them all
900
moved-
people.
Had them all moved
Yeah.
to Africa.
918
You know?
people.
Yeah, that's a
to
lot.
be
Man,
exact.
that was crazy.
You know what? Okay, so we're talking and we're just like jumping all over
Yeah,
every
yeah,
little
everything
situation. So let's just stick to
Let's get with Jim Jones.
Jim
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah,
Jim
let's focus on
Jones.
Jim Jones. Jim Jones, definitely.
Yeah, so this happened in Guyana, South America, and he called it Jonestown.
Jonestown.
And I don't know exactly how many people he had there, but he had
He had over 1,000 people.
over 1,000 people. And
Yes.
these were
Right.
black people, white people,
Asians,
Asians,
everything.
everything. He had all kind of people, and he called it the People's Temple.
Yep.
There you go.
And he had a lot, kids, everything. So, 1978, Congressman Leo Ryan went there to investigate
I remember that.
because there were reports of people who wanted, people being mistreated. They wanted to leave.
Some people want to leave.
Their
Right.
families was worried about them why they didn't get in
Yeah.
contact with them at all.
Exactly. I would be worried about
Yeah.
my family too.
Yeah, when your family members just gone and it's like you don't hear nothing from them.
Yeah,
You're like
that's
that's
crazy.
not like my brother or my sister
Right,
to
right.
do something like that and go with all our kids.
Yeah.
There you go.
But that's how he got started. Hayden Ashbury down there in Hayden Ashbury, San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
On the streets down there, kind of the same area where I think Manson did too. But anyway, that's where he did all the hippie movement that was going on at the
Oh,
time.
wow.
And that's where he started a church down there, and he started taking in all these hippies.
Oh shit.
And that's how the whole thing started. And then he started getting a lot of disenfranchised people, with that were disenfranchised with their churches and
It's a
stuff.
definite big Houston connection. A lot of the followers were
that?
Yeah.
a lot of the followers from Houston went,
Were.
and there was
Oh, okay,
some of
wow.
the black people that survived. Yeah, that told the story that they did the movie.
Wow.
There was very few people that survived though.
Oh no, there was people that survived.
There was a lot.
It was a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So this day in 1978, when the congressman decided to go over there and check on these people and possibly bring some back, he took a film crew
Yeah.
or whatever, and they having their little having church or whatever. Jim Jones is pissed the fuck off
He was mad. Why?
Because somebody slipped a note.
because people actually wanted to leave.
Okay.
He was
Okay.
mad that they came. He didn't want them there.
Right.
In the first
I remember
place.
that he didn't want him there, but
Yeah, so people started slipping notes. Hey, Congressman, after this is over, I want to leave with you.
Well, the living conditions were so hard there. From
Yeah.
what I seen in the documentary, I mean,
Yeah.
families were separated. Women and children and husbands they weren't housed together.
right.
Oh,
they weren't housed together at all.
No, not at all.
They were
Okay.
also punished if they questioned his authority too.
Right.
yeah,
Then
that's
they-
how a lot
then
of
they-
them do.
Then they had
Yes.
the
Wow.
labor in the fields all day long.
Yes.
Okay.
Growing
so-
whatever they were growing.
And so when the congressman decided to leave, and he got maybe 9-10 people with him that wanted to leave too,
Right.
and so they're leaving and shit. They get to the airport for the plane to come scoop them up, and all of a sudden a tractor pulls up with armed men, and they just start letting loose on them.
It's funny that Jim Jones moved his cult capital to Guyana.
Guyana.
Yeah, Guyana. Is that correct?
Guyana.
Guyana, Jonestown. Because in 1955, he had a place of worship in Indianapolis called the People's Temple, and he later, he grew concerned that there was a nuclear attack, so he moved it to Eureka, California, which he thought he would be safer. And then later, when the media they got out of that attention, he later moved to Guyana, down in South America.
Thank you for repeating what I said. At the beginning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Then,
Right.
then erase what I have reported.
And Big David said it too. So
I know.
But he
So-
also,
Okay.
it's also
So-
that he uses it as a
Sorry
sex,
about
sex
that.
cult
So
too.
like I
almost.
was
Yeah,
saying,
he's having
like
sex.
yeah.
He's having sex with the
a lot
women.
of women.
Well,
Okay.
and he's the only one they're allowed to have sex with. He tells them they're not allowed to have sex with their husbands
Yeah,
anymore.
because he caught two and like put them in front of everybody.
Okay, so like I was saying, when they was when they were getting ready to leave, they send these gunmen. You know what I'm saying? And they just start gunning everybody down. They
Right.
killed the congressman. I think they killed like 7 other people who were trying to leave.
Well, what did that do to America? Like,
I don't know what the fuck it did to
no,
America.
what I'm saying, what did they do in retaliation for
Oh,
that?
they didn't do nothing.
It was nothing they could do, because simultaneously, while he sent those people to kill, he ordered all his people to start drinking this Kool-Aid, which was laced with cyanide.
Oh, that was okay. That's okay. You went right to the end.
Then and then he forced them to drink it if they wouldn't.
Yeah.
At gunpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, they were shot.
There was a major conspiracy behind that too. I remember.
It wasn't even Kool-Aid. It was Flavor Aid.
Wow.
He was too cheap. He was too
couldn't even
cheap.
get real Kool-Aid.
Yeah, he couldn't even get real Kool-Aid.
I know they had Flavor Aid back then.
Yeah, so it was 918
Wow.
The
women, children,
highest body count
men.
ever.
the helicopter view for that that I saw.
Yes, that is
was-
horrible.
Oh my God, it was so terrible.
Yeah, that was straight horrible.
You guys heard of the tapes too? Like there's women and kids crying when they
Oh,
when they
yeah.
didn't
It was
want
like,
to
give
drink
it to the babies. Give it to the babies.
Yeah.
That's
There's audio
incredible.
tape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah.
I didn't never hear audio tape. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's audio tape also. He taped it almost to the very end.
Yeah, and then he shot himself.
Yeah,
He
then
shot
he
himself.
shot- yeah.
Actually, that's the big conspiracy. He didn't shoot himself.
He probably
Well,
didn't and
he-
did, but
maybe, who knows?
Right. Well, yeah. The conspiracy of that is that
He's over there with Hitler somewhere.
Yeah.
no.
And Elvis and
There was
Maybe he
a-
hid in
there-
a bunker
there
and
was-
killed himself. Who knows?
No, there was a couple of family members who hired somebody to retrieve their people, their family, and they flew out there, and they got there late. But when they got there, it was after all of the people had did what they did. So he had no intention of actually leaving. Basically, what the conspiracy is, and that they shot him while he was sitting in a chair. They shot and killed him.
I never heard that.
I never heard that one.
Well,
That little
yeah,
landing
it is.
strip to get there is
So
kind
you saying some family members
had
shot him?
had hired some people to go retrieve their
Oh,
kid.
wow.
Yeah, that was a big deal back then. I remember that.
Okay, well, I don't know how that would happen.
sound like an action movie.
If you got 900 dead bodies, you got cops everywhere and shit.
No,
Well, there's
no,
no
no,
cops
no,
everywhere.
no,
There's
no,
nothing.
no,
Wow.
no.
Not there.
This, and
Well, I mean, okay, so you could just kill the congressman.
Yeah.
No,
And
well,
you got a news crew out there, so I don't think it would take that long for
It wasn't, but it was the local government. I mean, it's not like they had the FBI
right.
there. It was
Yeah.
Ghana government.
Right, and
and at the time, that's a third world country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
they didn't have any.
So if you guys go back and you look at the movie, that conspiracy
Yeah.
is in that movie, and
Oh, wow.
the actual people, like the people from Houston who spoke about everything that was going. It was multiple people.
Yeah.
Look at the movie, and that's
Oh,
in
wow.
there. So that's why you see that all
I haven't
of
seen
them
the
die.
movie in years.
Well, that's fucking scary, bro. That somebody
Had that
have
power.
that much power over people.
Right, and had the arms to keep them in check.
So, Jay, if you think you realize that a cult was forming around you,
I get down with it.
you get down with
I get down with
it. What did we call it? Jay's
family.
Jay's family. Okay,
Jay's family.
right. I like
So,
that.
But
yeah,
it
yeah.
sounds so wholesome.
Yes, exactly. Jay's family.
Right.
So, okay, guys, check it out. So we were just talking about Jim Jones. He's probably one of the greatest of all time. So
I don't
please,
know about
Don't say
greatest.
greatest.
He's not great. He's not great.
he had more body counts than anyone else
There you go.
ever.
There you go.
Okay, so when we return, so we're going to hit some of the other ones. So please forgive us jumping all over and throwing everything out. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about a real serious person that you might know when we return.
Hello, my name is Robert Richard, and I'm the host of an exciting new show called What's That Network, where you and the contestants guess the cash flow of the most popular celebrities around today for cash and prizes. I want you to go to Ego Network TV on YouTube to watch the show. Please, please, please like, subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram at ego_network_TV. I'll see you there.
Bye, girl. You have a great night.
Man, that was a great podcast.
It was a dope show.
Yeah, great. Bye, guys.
So what you say?
Yeah, man, I have so much work to do. I have to get caught up.
Okay,
I'm
make
sorry.
sure you remember to lock the door.
I got
Be
you.
careful.
I got you.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, then.
Democrats asked the Supreme Court to reconsider the unworkableness of those right to abortion in the way 1973 in cases. They have filed a brief in the upcoming abortion case due medical services versus Glee. And in today's weather, we're going to have
Yeah, I need to know it. So you're gonna tell me now. What is it? What is it? You do to tell me what it is. I need you to tell me, scumbag. Fit me. Now what is it? No. What is it? Tell me. That's it. Commissioner, I got this scumbag here right now. Okay. What's that now?
Just-in-Time Tax Houston is here to provide our clients with quality, fast tax services. Our tax specialists are available 7 days a week. Due to COVID-19, we will be providing our clients the opportunity to do virtual video meetings. Not only does Just-in-Time Tax Houston provide quality tax services, we also give our clients the opportunity to restore their...
Back. You probably heard us yell a little bit, but don't worry. Everything's going to be a bit different, all right? Yeah, so we're talking about cults, all these different cults, you know, from Trump cult people.
The MAGA cults.
Right. Yeah. You know, to Jim Jones, Manson, and now we have our guru in here for the Heaven's Gate, because that guy was... He was tough. So
another UFO cult.
You know, he kind of snuck up on us.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Right.
He snuck up on us.
Rachel, go ahead. I mean, you know all about. You even have the T-shirt.
Yeah.
And it's a cool ass T-shirt.
It's he's my favorite.
I'll
well, the Heaven's Gate in general is my favorite. I think of all the cults, that would probably be the well, I mean, out of all cults, I would respectfully be like, I can't have sex, I can't do drugs. I don't know. Or if they do too much, then I'm like, no, then you guys sound like a wild party. I don't want to be a part of that either. But that's the point.
Well, tell us about the Heaven's Gate.
I want to know what's your favorite about it.
Heaven's Gate. So it's from home. They met here in Houston, Texas, actually.
Oh wow.
The Bonnie Nettles and Marshall Applewhite, they met in a hospital here that Bonnie was working in. She used to be a nurse. And they say that he was there because of his mental illness.
Hospital.
Yeah, but they also say that he was there visiting a friend.
So that's the creepy looking guy. What was his name?
Yeah, Marshall Applewhite.
Yeah. Marshall Applewhite.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He's a freaky looking motherfucker, bro.
I mean, that's cool. Matter of fact, Rachel and I was talking. Me and her are going to take a picture like them. You know what I'm saying? It'd be really cool. You know,
y'all be some freaky looking motherfuckers.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
We would be the most likely ones to start a cult.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Right.
And I'll be the most likely one to call the cops on y'all.
It's fine. It's fine.
For real.
So tell us how many people were there and what happened. Tell us.
Yeah, they were the cult that it was a mass suicide. They found 39 people in the house, but it ended up the total was actually 43 because there were people that followed afterwards.
Wow.
That's how big of a following they had. And
they missed the spaceship.
Yeah, they wanted to go and be with the spaceship. Yeah. What their thought is that they had a comet, a Haley Bop.
Hale Bop.
Yeah, that's it. And it was going to be between 2,000 years that it was going to come back where they can all go with pick up on the spaceship, right?
So they were saying it was like right out of view of everybody, right in the clouds, waiting for these souls.
And it was their time. Yeah.
Wow.
And
I'll say I'll say this. The reason why to me that's pretty funny, and I like it a little bit, is because
like weird shit.
Well, yeah, but in the Bible, it has a certain amount of seats that you can go to heaven.
Yeah,
right. So when I'm thinking of a spaceship with a certain amount of seats, these guys they went to that house, that mansion rather. They folded up their clothes. They had their brand new little shoes. They was ready, and
ready to die.
Ready to get on the spaceship.
Ready to leave their vehicle.
Right.
That was the phrase. They were ready to leave their vehicle. They weren't actually dying because they're gonna enjoy their new lives with UFOs or aliens.
I wonder how they feel about that shit now.
They probably in space right now
they
on the
probably
ship.
in hell.
Nah.
Right
and
now.
y'all say vehicle, but I was thinking that the body is actually a vessel.
Same thing.
Okay.
What was Marshall Applegate's
I think
selling
vehicle.
point?
That sounds a little better.
What was he selling? I mean, selling point. Like, how did he get people to actually join this cult?
It was mostly based off of he was a big Christian. Grew up Christian, so it was a lot of God based, but with that small little spice that we would be with aliens.
Right. So he kind of threw in it to angels
but it was a lot of the Bible stuff. It was self improvement.
So how?
I'm going to say this here, Trent, real quick. When she's saying this, and you said, "How do you get these people to join?" Well, it makes a huge difference when you have the black woman from Star Trek brother there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, come on, bro.
Yeah,
who's gonna be like the black brother, the dude from Star Trek? Her brother is there.
Who
gives a fuck?
Well, no. There's a lot of people there's a lot of people that's Trekkies that believe in this shit hardcore.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So that helps.
So they believed in a fictitious show.
Well,
and
go ahead, David.
Okay. Well,
I say that in unison. Go ahead, David.
All right.
Ready for the cult?
There was a cultural, description in the daily lives out of the followers. I'm going to get straight to it. They wore black running Nike shoes. They had the black suit.
Gangsta Nikes.
Yes, of course. They packed a suitcase nearby. Their diet was mainly applesauce with a little bit of drugs on there, and it was supposed to supposedly keep them
applesauce
pure.
with a little
with drugs.
That's what they mixed the drugs in.
Applesauce.
They put it with pudding or applesauce, and they chased it down with a shot of vodka.
What type of drugs with the applesauce? That was the.
I think is that they ate daily, or is that what they killed themselves with?
Phenobarbital.
I think that's what they.
Phenobarbital.
Thank you.
It's a handful.
Thank you. Well,
Peter Barbatov.
Yeah, Barbatov. Yeah, she got it. They also had a master cleanse diet of lemonade, cayenne pepper, maple syrup in order to get rid of sexual thoughts. There was 8 men that volunteered to be surgically castrated.
Whoa. Lemon and cayenne pepper to get rid of sexual thoughts.
See,
wow.
And so now I know what you were saying earlier, and no, I could not go with that shit. If I can't have sex, what's the point of even joining a cult? Seriously, guys, you at home, I want you guys to tell me: would you join a cult if you could have sex or not? If there's no sex involved, would you join the cult? Because I sure as hell wouldn't. I don't know. I would like to know if you guys would feel that way.
I mean, there was 39 to 48 to 40 something people, so that's not much of a number for people that want to join.
What? What do you mean? That's a lot of damn people.
No, compared to 900.
No, we're not comparing them to 900. If I had 49 people right now push like on the like button,
do that.
Right?
Ding, ding, ding.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We'll be all right.
I like that, Jay.
Right. Yes, I'm just saying, push like on the like button.
We start our own urban paranormal
cults. Exactly. Right? But I really think that I saw a video. I saw a video. It was like he was broadcasting it for his. We're going to talk about the brainwashing aspect.
You talking about the guy? What was his name? Marshall
Applewhite. Right.
Applewhite. Okay.
So he was showing this video, and it's got this. Stuff in the background. It looks all sweet. I mean, that's a form of brainwashing. You sit a person down.
He was a performer before Heaven's Gate. Before he did that, after he I think he worked for the Houston Symphony for a while.
Oh wow!
Really? Incredible.
Yeah, and he was a very smart. He was very into theater. Their names were T and Doe because they liked the sound of music, which that's also sounds like a personal hell to me too. Is that you're gonna be around these people that sing all the time.
Right.
But yeah, he knew how to convince people. He was an actor.
Right, so he had that personality that
just like L. Ron Hubbard.
Right, so he had that personality that could bring you in. Then he had the message, and to back the message, right, would be the idea of having Miss Aurora brother there, and on top of
who?
The woman from
Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you look like you struggling.
I was struggling. So I just thought it was disrespectful. The black woman from Star Trek. But so he had that, and then he had the brainwashing. So the thing is that he preyed on these people's belief in the other world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Star Trek
and God, and it was a lot of broken people. They didn't want to be with their families, and they wanted. And this is also when it started. It was in the 70s, and this was very. I don't want to work for. It was between the hippie movement and then be square or work for the rest of your life. And so a lot of people. They were nurses, engineers. People left their old lives because they didn't want that anymore. Even because at the time you didn't know you could just. Hey, I could just be something else tomorrow.
They could have just been hippies.
I mean, you got a lot of people that get in the cults are actually really intelligent people. Because in his instance, they are all of them were very intelligent, but they felt like they were so intelligent that they knew something that nobody else didn't know.
But you know what they didn't know is themselves, and that's why hippies weren't down for that shit. Because I think I'm a hippie. I would take the hippie.
It was a lot of hippies down for that shit.
A lot of hippies
in
every.
Yes.
Don't tell me about the hippies.
Manson.
But there was a different breeds of hippies. There was different.
There's different. There is.
You know what I'm saying?
Subcultures.
I would be not those bitches.
You just haven't found the right cult leader yet.
No, I am my own cult leader, goddamn.
You just haven't found the right one.
Join the Voice of America cult.
Join me, the Voice of America.
But you know what I noticed a lot?
What?
No offense, but it was like white people love cults. It was like, please come
Actually,
take me.
it
was
no
offense, but it was just
it was or is. I don't know if it's past tense or
Jay, you
still
look like
happening
you're
now.
in deep thought, but it's
Because he said I'm not white.
Fred, I look at it from a scientific perspective. No offense taken.
Yeah. Exactly. Wait a minute. Why would you be offended? Aren't you Mexican?
I am not offended. I'm just trying to tell you I'm not offended. I'm looking at it from a scientific
went
view.
From Greek to Mexican to
white
Italian to white. Which one is it, David?
David,
Orale, I am brown and proud, even though I have a white skin. Jeez.
Now he brown.
Okay, now he's brown. I just had to bring
His
that up
soul
because
is
it was a
brown.
lot.
But Trent, I just wanted to say I'm scientifically looking at it from your perspective. That's all.
Okay, I just had to bring that one up.
Thank
Well,
you.
I know you had to bring some, good old laughs.
I want
so it's all good.
I want Jay's thoughts on that because you were thinking like, what are you thinking? I'm not white and I want to be in the cult.
That's exactly.
I saw
what
it on
I'm
his
thinking.
face.
Oh wow!
That's
saw it.
exactly what I'm thinking. I mean, and let's go like there's a lot of black people that's joined cults.
Yeah,
Are they
like we
alive?
said, Jim Jones. He had
I
a lot
mean,
of black
there's
people.
a lot of people from Jim
I mean, are
Jones
they
to
still
David
alive, though?
Koresh. You know, I don't think.
I don't know.
I don't think. I don't. Yeah, in David Koresh. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think that race has anything to do with cults at all.
Think so?
Mm-mm. No. Now, if you and I decide to make a private cult, and we don't want white people to be a part of it, then that's our choice. But in overall, some of the largest ones, I don't think race have a part to do with anything.
No, I didn't take it like that. I took it as like maybe they were looking for something different or higher.
That's black people.
I'm talking about the white people who were down with the cults.
No.
I mean, because you see all these Indian yogis and different motherfuckers with the long Jesus beards.
Everybody thinks they're smarter than everybody else.
Yeah,
right.
I know.
So they latch on to something like that. Well, this guy has the secret to life.
Yeah,
right.
You know, and you're so smart, you're struggling with it because you don't believe in the Bible. You know, you don't believe in as a God isn't praying to a God. So you look for something else. And
Right.
That's
Well,
what happens to you.
also keep in mind too, I'm not trying to discriminate us intelligent people as well, but I'm just saying from a scientific and psychological standpoint that several intelligent people do find trouble trying to adapt to a social life. So the only thing they could look into is a cult to be socially accepted, and it is the sad truth to a theoretical extent, not a fact, but a theoretical extent.
Well, I think being intelligent and being smart are two different things.
I think David's a narcissist, right? He just said, "I'm not trying to discriminate from us, intelligent people." What the fuck?
No, I'm just saying
You just made
intelligence
yourself-
and being smart are two different things.
I am a geek, but I would
You're
consider
really
myself
smart.
unique.
You're really
That's
smart.
all.
You
Unique
won't-
from them.
And you won't get involved in the cult.
I would call him intelligent.
I would just definitely say no. I'm too smart to be in a cult.
But yet, a clown took your underwear when you was a kid.
Yeah,
here we go.
That's why you're friends with Bozo the Clown.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Pennywise. Would you like to play a game? Yes.
So anyway,
Wow.
man. Anyway.
Incredible.
Right. Anyway,
David.
this guy had the ability to sweet talk like 43 people in his message.
I just like the fact that he got everybody to put on gangster Nikes.
Well, yeah, but
That was dope.
He's been. Yeah, I agree.
But-
So he had good taste.
I know, right?
They're all
take a-
walking together.
but take a look at the fascination with him in general, or cult leaders like that. The fact that Rachel has a shirt, someone is making his shirt, and it's actually selling.
Yeah,
The Heaven's Gate shirt sells.
Shit, I seen Rachel. Don't you got one too?
See why you had to out me on television?
Hey, I'm sorry, bro.
Hey,
I mean, we
Jay,
talking
don't
about
feel too
cults.
bad. I'm outed too.
Okay,
Wow.
now here go the thing. People are very fascinated with it, and his case is kind of unique. I mean, with the alien aspect and what he did, I believe it was a mansion that they had rented or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a mansion.
Some type of compound. Or
I mean, it was actually done so beautiful, not like Jonestown.
They were all like the beds, just all lined up in the
Jonestown was a
room
dope.
and all one
It
room
was a
together.
dope idea too, though.
I mean, it was dope, but it was on dirt.
Right.
These people were laying down comfortably in their bed.
They had
They were
money.
ready to go. Yeah, they was ready to go, man.
And the week before that they did that, they were going to like SeaWorld and going out to eat, and they were doing like all this fun stuff
Living it up.
before living it up.
Spend it all before you go.
Right. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, so much respect.
So we talked about what is his name again?
Marshall Applewhite.
Marshall Applewhite.
Marshall
yeah.
Applewhite, Jim Jones, brought up a few others. So what I'm noticing is different types of cults.
Yeah.
Yes, there's actually an international cult. I'll try to keep it brief. Basically, it was led by Shoko Asahara, It's basically a Christian Buddhist mixture cult that was in Tokyo. The reason why it was important internationally was because members of the Om Shinrikyo left 5 bags filled with toxic nerve gas on 3 Tokyo train line stations during rush hour. And this was back in the
1995.
March. Thank you. Awesome. And 13 people died because of the attack, and 5,800 were injured.
Wow.
Okay.
I remember that.
I have a question. I just have a simple question.
I was a kid when I watched that on the news.
Yeah.
I remember something, but
what year was it again?
It was
March 20th, 1995.
Oh, yeah.
Here go the thing.
Crazy stuff.
Not a kid,
and you
but-
weren't a kid, yeah.
Young
but here go the
man.
thing. I want to ask you. Okay, so we spoke to Jim Jones, right? So we think his shit was more like Prophet or whatever, and then we had Appleby who had the aliens. Well, what is this one?
He was
What's
more
He was
environmental.
looking for power.
Yes.
This guy was looking for power.
Yeah.
He wanted people to fear him.
Shoko Oshara.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, to be fair, they did. They were in fear. Not only 13 people died,
Yeah.
but
13.
but there was thousands of people who were scared to go on the train.
Yeah.
Which they do every day, and it was during rush hour. I read a book and it was like survivor stories of it, and it's like people, like just their body wise couldn't recover from it.
Oh wow.
And then physically, so you got physically, mentally, and then but I mean they found that guy pretty quick though, and he's
Yeah.
in prison,
Yeah.
and they're way hardcore.
Well, he was more of a, so you want to call a cult terrorist, because he didn't.
He was,
his own
yeah.
followers didn't kill,
Right.
kill
Yeah.
themselves.
He was
wouldn't
similar
kill
to
other innocent people.
To Manson,
Yeah.
where he's like, I don't do anything. I have people do it for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
he-
how about we talk about that guy for a minute?
Yes, I believe so.
wow.
The name of his cult was Om Shinrikyo, which means Supreme Truth. And according to his background history, the main cult leader, he was born into a poor family in Japan in 1955. Asara, his real name is Chizo Matsumoto.
Chizo.
Chizo.
Okay.
Chizu, sorry. It's Chizu Matsumoto.
Okay.
He lost his part of his vision at a young age, and he started to establish his religion based on Buddhist and Hindu concepts. And then he later got the Bible references and Nostradamus. Eventually, he started to sell to people that he wanted to join in his cult that he could read minds and levitate. And in the 1990s, this is when he got a lot more followers following with him. Some of them from Japan's top universities to people that had like chemical backgrounds, and then this is where he was trying to use them to. Obviously, he became this cult terrorist.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's how he was
He had
able
really
to get
smart,
to Sarin.
Oh, yeah.
intelligent people on his side.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And I'll let you guys discuss from here.
Well,
What was his main
thank you,
reason?
David.
Was it just power?
Just
I thought there
power.
was some type of environmental thing going on there or
He
something. Maybe.
he used a psychological power, and he used a bit of agapathy to put control over people, and he knew how to direct these people with low self-esteem that were very that had high established careers, to give them a sense of purpose or calling for them to believe in something, and he later used that to manipulate them to do such atrocious things.
Holy shit.
okay.
Like I said, that reminds us of Manson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so go ahead. I know you want to spit Manson. and
Well,
I wanna,
we can
I
talk
love
about
Manson. I love
You know what I'm
Manson. Let's
saying?
do it.
I mean, what do you mean? Well, let's do it.
I mean, let's get into Manson. His whole situation.
Well,
I mean,
we all know the fucking story. You
Well-
know what I'm saying? I don't have to unpack it. He was a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
He had a hair. Well,
He
Jay.
wasn't crazy.
No.
So all the crazy people aren't crazy to Jay.
I
Do
noticed.
y'all notice the
I've
pattern?
noticed. I was sitting over
Okay.
there and I noticed last time.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was a crazy motherfucker.
Let me tell you, Manson, of course, had a raw deal. All right.
Nah, he didn't.
Yes,
have no
yes,
raw
he did. Yes, he did.
No,
he
he
didn't.
didn't.
He didn't kill anyone, but yet he stayed in prison.
Okay, well, actually, Manson did kill somebody.
Okay.
Because people, they always remember the Tate murders,
Right.
but they forget about the La Bianca murders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So he actually did tie those people up at the La Bianca murders, and he set his people out on them. He did actually kill some people.
Okay.
Yeah, so he had a bunch of young women and men followers.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And they were hippies, like we were talking about.
Different types. Okay.
Yeah, and his thing, he wanted to start a race war,
Right.
and he wanted to make it look like black militants started the race war.
Okay.
And that's when he sent, and he actually thought the Beatles song Helter Skelter, was talking directly to him, telling him to start the race war.
Okay.
So that's when he sent his little disciples, the two girls and the one dude, to Roman Polanski's house.
Oh yeah, it was pretty wild. Yeah.
Didn't they call him Tex or something?
What? Yeah, Tex was one of the disciples.
Yeah.
And he sent them there to kill anybody that was there. Hopefully Roman Polanski was there, but he wasn't.
Right.
And it was his wife, Sharon Tate,
Mhm.
and she happened to be entertaining company that day. And I think it was
That was like her
five
brother
or
something like that was
six
there with
other
them.
people, and they came in and murdered all of them.
Yeah. That sucked.
Yeah.
But like I said, again, I like Manson, and I don't think he was crazy.
And then the next day, that's when the La Bianca, he went to the La Bianca house, and he actually went there himself with his disciples. They tied everybody up. They carved the words war, into the husband's chest, the La Bianca, and they wrote Helter Skelter on the wall in their blood.
Yeah. Okay, see, that's what I remember.
See, people forget about.
Well, see, that's hard to forget about the Helter Skelter because the movie Helter Skelter shows everything you said except Manson being there. So
I think it actually does.
No, not in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the 70s?
Well, this is what actually happened apart from the movie. He was actually there for the La Bianca.
Right. Well, growing up, I mean, I remember I grew up in the 70s. That's the first, I guess, cult or serial killer, whatever you want to call it, killer, serial killer.
Me too, yeah,
I remember the book. I remember my mom having the book Helter Skelter.
I remember being scared watching that. Just that music was scary.
Just looking at the pictures of the book, I was like, wow, because I didn't see anything like that. I was 8 years old.
Yeah. I just think like, wow. Well, you brought up that, but in my mind, it's always been, wow, the guy had the power, the honest to God power to send out multiple people to kill.
Yeah,
he had the ego too, because I mean, he thought of himself as a self-proclaimed songwriter and entertainer. I mean,
which he was very talented.
He tried to make it, and he failed at that.
Yeah.
So we had Manson, that was a failed musician. Applewhite, that was a failed singer, performer.
Right. And Jim Jones was what? Just a failed minister?
Well, every one of them is an egomaniac.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have that in
I
common.
guess you could see that, yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard, he wasn't failed. He was successful. He was a successful writer.
Well,
he was.
But didn't that come about after his death?
I think other people picked
he
that up.
He established the religion before he died.
Oh, he did establish it?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. But I do see a pattern.
Yeah.
I do see a pattern.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Scientology got that credit, so he's doing something right.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He's working with it.
OZ Mute.
It's like, oh yeah.
The Intergalactic Federation.
Yeah.
Wow.
But think about this here too. At the time, it was exactly the hippie movement during the Manson situation. The flower child, love, be free.
Yeah.
Let's go against the man. It was so many things that was lurking at that time that breeded a perfect
psychedelics.
Yes, psychedelics.
Free love.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's giving these people psychedelics, but he's not taking them.
Well, there's a lot of parallels. People were disenfranchised then, like you see a lot of things going on now. People get disenfranchised, and that's what kind of draws them in together.
Right.
They're just with their life or society or whatever.
Right. So I'm just saying he's manipulating them. They're getting high as fuck with psychedelics, and he's like, I'm God, I'm whatever, singing these songs.
Yeah.
And they
reprogram their brain.
Yeah, he's reprogramming, and these people are believing it 110%. And not even if they're not believing it, they want to impress Charlie.
Yeah, they thought he was God.
Yeah, they really want to impress Charlie. So you think about everything that was going on at that point in time, from the Vietnam War, all these different things bred this
guy.
Yeah, and these people.
To
be able to take that jump, And it is a cult, and realistically, it is a cult that I would probably see likely that people would join because
what?
Well, at that time.
Oh,
period,
you talk about because of the Vietnam
War and the psychedelics and free love, and it was a very easy. Right, it's so very easy to manipulate a lot of people that are high as
but
fuck.
I just don't see no motherfucker coming up to me talking about, I'm Jesus. Follow me.
Bruh.
Be like, get the fuck out of my face, bro.
I don't know if man, I done took some shit that you believe that shit's right there.
I took some shit, but it never made me believe no shit like that. That a human could walk up to me and tell me that he knew the fucking way.
But
I needed to follow him.
But if you were high and that human starts shape shifting in front of you,
only thing I do is weed, bro. So ain't nothing gonna get me that fucking high.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
I am just saying.
I think it's more the vulnerability of people.
Wanting to belong,
maybe
yes,
someone
it's a lot of broken people or you're high as shit.
Yeah, or it might be a little mentally
or both.
ill. Just because you got a good job, you making a lot of money, don't make you smart.
Yeah.
Right.
That means you remember the shit you got taught in school.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
go ahead,
or
David.
trade smart, whatever that.
Okay. Or what? Say that again.
Trade smart.
Okay, yeah.
What's
Trade
amazing
smart.
is, I mean, people. They still followed him all the way up to his death.
Yeah,
I mean, the
they
women,
did.
those girls or women,
right?
They still won't let him out of jail.
Wow. Well, he's dead now.
He is, but they won't let the women out of jail.
Oh,
prison.
Okay.
Oh, I thought they let one of them out.
I don't
Nah,
think
Squeaks.
so. No.
Squeaks is still in there with.
There's like 3 of them in there. Isn't there?
Yeah, the dude I know text because he said he made a mistake. But, of course he made a mistake.
I know, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so here's another international cult that I just picked up on. It's Nigeria's campus cults, the Buccaneers, Black Axe, and other feared groups. These cults are basically like in student campuses, but they're like an angry campus brotherhood where they use violence to measure and demonstrate their means of
like Skull and Bones.
That's exactly.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
You got it, man. And they have like other campus cult names like the Vikings, Aili, a word in the local Yoruba language for bird. Okay. Had to correct my enunciation.
Yeah.
They would scare the police so much that the police would, try to say whatever the violent things that were happening in the neighborhood, the police would claim that it was fake news. Now, there was like, a lot of hacking, beheading. There was, 14 shot dead at the University of Nigeria in 2002. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And if you guys need to discuss your thoughts or whatever, please go ahead.
No, it's just the breeding ground. Everything has to line up perfectly. All right. So let's go right back here before we go to break. Let's go right back to this point. Everything has to line up perfectly. Donald Trump is president, okay? And he's saying all these things, and people in America, they just want change. They want things to go back to the way they were. People were afraid. So all of these people took to this man. Everything he was saying was fact. And whenever someone spit out a fact, they wrote it off as fake news. And his followers believed it so much that this man says, hypothetically, we're going to storm. Y'all go there, say whatever, and he would just sit back and let them storm that place.
Yeah.
That was a cult. And it still is.
It definitely was, bro.
Right.
Definitely is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, even to the point that everyone with a brain understood exactly why Twitter and all of these different people on social media said, we're pulling your shit. You can't be on social media anymore.
Wow.
Because they knew that if you had Manson in jail forever.
Did you hear like he's launching his own?
Yeah, he's launching his
social
own
media.
Yeah. He's launching his own.
Ain't nobody gonna be on that shit.
Shit, it's gonna be his followers.
His people.
Right,
yeah.
and his followers could be very fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I know they can.
Anybody that's a fanatic of anything can be very dangerous.
But what about this guy Rael? You heard of him?
No, please tell me.
Well, it's this French guy named. His real name is Claude Varihan, and he founded this. He changed his name to Rael.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the founder of this religion called Raelism. And they got over 100,000 members worldwide. You know what I'm saying? From Africa, Europe, Asian countries, everywhere. I actually watched the Vice documentary where they followed him around for a day. He got like all these scantily clad, beautiful women following him. He's like an old fucker. You know what I'm saying? He got beautiful women following him.
I like that.
People that look like they'll hurt your ass if you say the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? And he's throwing this grand ceremony in Rael's sake where he's playing the guitar and performing and singing. Can't sing worth a fuck. Everybody's clapping like it was so fucking beautiful and shit. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he's freestyling the song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what they believe is that the Elohim from the Bible, he believes they're aliens. And he believed that they made 40 hybrids between the Elohim and humans. And these 40 hybrids were the prophets. And he includes Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad. And he says that he's that 40th hybrid.
Wow.
And he got money coming from all over the world. He actually, in his documentary, I seen he went to Africa. There's this thing that they call female circumcision.
Oh, right. Yeah.
In one country.
Right.
And he went over there and he was able to reverse female circumcision, so they love him in Africa.
Really? He could reverse it?
Yeah, he was able to reverse it so the women could get feeling back in their
in
their vaginas and shit. Yeah. And I think it was in 2003. This is where they claim their notoriety and shit. In 2003, they claimed that they were able to make the first human clone. This was in 2003. Yeah. But it was all bullshit.
It was.
The clone shit was, yeah.
But has he...
He's still kicking today.
Oh, he's still doing good today?
Yeah, he's still kicking today. The shit growing, members growing day to day. He got money coming fucking everywhere. People donate mansions.
And sexy women naked.
Beautiful women.
That's
beautiful
awesome.
Fucking women.
That's some. That's
he's this old fucker can barely move and shit.
Wow. Not with,
you know what I'm
living
saying?
the dream.
Yeah,
right,
living the dream.
Right?
Not with them. Not with them.
I would trade
women.
places with him in a heartbeat.
Goddamn right.
Right?
Hell yeah. So, you guys at home, here's the thing. We spoke about a whole bunch of leaders and whatnot from the cults. We talked a little bit about certain things of that nature. But what I want you to do, right? Hit like, subscribe, share. This gets us out, and we can give you more content.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, just take the time, tip us.
Yeah, send that to $, DSB Media on Cash App. You got a show idea, want to be on the show, or just want to send Jay a violent email, you can email us at urbanparanormal13@gmail.com.
And trust me, I answer all emails back. I answer all text messages back for those that have text messages. So also, you guys that get online and you talk to us. Unfortunately, I'm not looking at that at this moment, but I promise you, say what you have to say, and I'll come and I will comment on your message. I don't care if you say whatever the hell you got to say about me. Jay, go to hell.
You might be able to join Jay's family.
There you go. You could join my family. You know what I mean? So we'll be back, though, in just a little bit.
Hey.
Bye, girl. You have a great night.
Man, that was a great podcast.
It was a dope show.
Yeah. Great. Bye, guys.
Bye.
So what you said?
Yeah, man, I have so much work to do. I have to get caught up.
Okay,
I'm
make
sorry.
sure you remember to lock the door.
I got
Be
you.
careful.
I got you.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, baby.
Congress, 200 Democrats asked the Supreme Court to reconsider the unworkableness of those right to abortion and celebrate way 1973 in cases. They have filed a brief in the upcoming abortion case due medical services mercifully. And in today's weather, we're going to have
Yo, we back, man.
What up? What up? We are back.
Yeah. So, God, I'm tired. But anyway, we're gonna give you this great show, and we're talking about cults. All right. So we've spoke about a few of them.
Yeah.
Ego, you had one called
Nexium.
Nexium. That sounds like a pill or something.
it's like
It
a
does
drug.
sound like a drug, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, a drug company.
Yeah.
But Nexium was a cult that was started by Keith Rayner.
Keith Rayner.
And Keith Rayner, he was a very, very smart guy.
Oh, wow.
His followers, he made them believe, or he probably was, the smartest man in the world.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he said at 1 year, they said at 1 year old.
1 year, sir.
1 year old.
Yeah.
At 1 year old.
Okay.
Is that correct? At 1 year old, he
Think
was
about
already
it.
talking. At 2 years old,
Okay.
he could write.
Okay.
You know, it goes in this order: 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. Just so if you're having a problem with that, right? 1.
I knew you wasn't going to let him make it
Yeah.
with that.
1, 2, 3. So what he can do at 3 now? At 3, what can he do?
Oh, well.
He wrote a
when he got
novel.
when he got to probably about, I think 11 years old, something like that, he was already
So you just
concert
can't,
pianist.
You can't count that high. You
Yeah.
just 1,
Let
2.
him- let him make it, Jay. Let him make it. Let him make it.
When he was 11, so he couldn't make it.
Well,
I like Eric's conversation.
yeah,
Keep going.
at 11 years old, he was a concert pianist, and he was
Shit.
he was a judo master.
Wow.
What?
For real? I mean,
Judo
chop.
judo
this is all-
master.
this is all
Okay.
fact-checked.
I keep
going.
his little ass.
Yeah. So he was very smart, and he was with the man from Green Acres when he first started in the 90s. He was trying to do like a pyramid thing.
Yeah, okay.
And
A scheme.
yeah, it wasn't supposed to be a scheme, but it was a scheme, and it was just frauding people out of their money.
Wow.
And so the government found out, and he ended up having to pay a bunch of money, and he had to close it down.
Wow.
Okay.
So then he decided that he was going to start his own like cult,
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Get it out.
and the
Go
cult
ahead.
was the Nexium Cult.
Wow.
Okay.
And it was just the women that were talking about it were saying that they would have to go through training,
Yeah.
and he came up with this kind of whatever the books he would write and stuff. He came up with it, and he had another woman with him that he had with him, and she would bring in some of the women and stuff like that,
A lot of
just
cults
like
do that.
Epstein
Uh-huh.
or whatever. And he would like I said, have them go through 14 hours of training
Wow.
a day. He would train them for 6 days a week,
Yeah.
and it would last for like 16 days.
So what kind
straight.
of training is this? Is this
It's his own philosophy that he came up
wow.
with
Well,
to
actually,
control their mind.
there's a lot of cults that do that. What they'll do is they'll make their followers just have a full schedule. Like you
Right.
wake up at
Control
4
everything.
a.m. working. There's no time for naps. The less you eat and the less you sleep, the better I can control you.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
so
Break
let me
it
get
down.
this right. This dude was a 11-year-old judo master concert pianist.
Yeah, that's what was
And cult
reported.
dude. Fuck.
And he was manipulating everybody.
Shit.
Wow.
It was all bullshit though.
Yeah.
They go back and they found out all that he was making it up.
Oh wow.
He wasn't. I mean, maybe he played piano a little bit and he did some judo classes, but it was all bullshit. It was just he was just really good manipulating.
So how long ago was this, Ego? You know?
It's the most recent
It's
one.
recent. Most
Yeah,
recent
very
because
recent.
a friend of mine I talked to knows him.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
There was like an
he
age-
told me today on the phone because I told him to watch the show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he told me, so do you know about Rayner?
Oh.
And I was like, no. He said he had almost like he had a sex cult.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And he would take the women and they would brand them.
Wow.
Yeah, the branding.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
an actress that was.
There was several actresses.
One of the actresses that we know and we fell in love back in the early 2000s was Allison Mack from Smallville. She played Chloe.
Yes.
I was so shocked when I first time found that out. I literally was squirming in my corner for a week.
Wow, you
trying,
squirming in your corner.
squirming in fear and feeling violated.
Wow.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
That clown must have been around
Yeah,
again.
that got him again.
Allison Mack was no Harley Quinn. I will tell you.
Wow.
What-
that is
Wait, she
crazy.
wasn't Harley Quinn?
It's a joke.
No, well, I didn't get it. How?
Explain
It's
that.
okay. It's okay.
Are you
Jake.
saying she wasn't as hot as Harley Quinn?
No, she was hot as hell. But after knowing that she was working as a sex cult as a recruiter for Keith Rayner, it really froze my blood white.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the women, he wanted them to be really skinny, so they would have to take a picture of their food and be like, "Is this?" And they would have. Well, it wasn't with Keith. It was with. They would have a sponsor, and they would call him master. Be like, master, is it okay if I eat this?
Wow.
And like it would be like a handful of grapes, like it would just shit like that. Like they would make them starve themselves.
Sound like R. Kelly a little bit.
I mean,
Yeah.
I am trying to figure out what the fuck the problem is right here.
But he was called the Vanguard.
Yes.
And
I don't see one.
I don't see a fucking problem either.
It's like groups within groups with that one. There's
I don't see a problem with that.
No,
guy.
he got a gal.
He got
Simple
his
as that.
bitches in line.
Right, and she goes and get more girls.
Exactly.
Right, they in line like you said. They sending them pictures of their food. Master, can I eat?
Yeah, bitch, put
yes,
that
you
biscuit
may.
down.
Yeah,
It's almost like he just was raising a sex cult brothel business. Well, speaking of which, Allison Mack reached out to Emma Watson about trying to join into the cult. Well, thank God she didn't get in there because you guys already described the conditions in there. Literally, this guy was profiting off from the human trafficking and selling and everything else.
That's
And
right,
it's just
bro.
so
That's what it was.
And they had to. It
horrifying.
was like Scientology as well, where they had to buy
Yeah.
classes and
had to
level
buy
up, so
classes.
people
Oh, yeah.
were dropping crazy amount of money.
Oh yeah, totally.
Most of the women I saw interviewed, though, they said it was like consensual sex and.
Yeah.
They said he was a
Yeah,
nerd.
they're like all
He was.
Yeah.
in the
And
documentary.
he was
He
having
was a nerd,
sex with
yeah.
all these different women.
Yeah.
In the documentary, all the women were just like in love with him, but he's like a dorky looking motherfucker.
Really dorky looking.
Well, what about the satanic cults?
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't touched those.
Yeah. Jay's
Let's do
favorite.
Well, there's a problem, but go ahead. You go ahead. You want to touch
Well,
it?
no, what's the problem? I mean, because you got like Aleister Crowley. He was a
Yeah,
He's a cult leader.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You got this guy. I ain't gonna say this guy. This group, and we talked about him on last week's show?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about human trafficking. The
Mhm.
Finders.
Oh,
Cult.
the Finders.
Right.
Okay.
So doing my research, I came across these guys again.
Okay.
The Finders. And we're gonna unpack them a little bit, but man, we need to do a whole show on these guys.
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trent was talking about the Finders, guys. So y'all just pay attention because later on we're gonna do a whole show about them.
Yeah, so the reason, how they found out about these guys. So 1987, Tallahassee, is that Florida? Tallahassee, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So two well-dressed men were seen at a park, and they were supervising 6 malnutrition, dirty-looking kids.
Ugh.
So they out there at the park in suits, and they get out of this van with these dirty. I don't mean to sound, like I'm
No,
talking
that's okay.
about.
You sound like you're talking
I
about
know
my
what you
neighbors.
mean. Yeah, like dirty kids. They needed a bath.
Yeah.
They were covered in mosquito bites. They looked
Yeah.
like they hadn't bathed or eaten.
It kind of loses me. Like, why would they do that? Why would they take them kids out in public like that? I mean, that's where kind of.
Yeah, I know. So what was happening? Somebody called anonymously and reported it. So the cops get there and they go to questioning these guys, and they told the cops, that they were teachers for a school for gifted kids, and they were on the way to Mexico or whatever to the school, and they asked, "Well, where are the parents?" And they said, "Well, they're being weaned from their mothers." And that was like a red.
That's a red flag,
That was a
definitely.
red. That was a red flag. So the cops arrested these 2 guys, and took the kids into custody or whatever. And the 2 guys' names were Michael Houlihan and Douglas Ammerman. And so they get these guys, and while they're interrogating them, they're being non-cooperative and shit. And the cops said they were almost in a trance-like state when they were trying to talk to them. They were like, whatever, let's get this shit over with. So, make a long story short, the kids, they were like, they had been, I don't want to say sheltered, but like they were, what's the word I'm looking for, Jay?
Wild.
They didn't have any social skills.
Didn't have any social skills.
Wild.
Yeah, damn near. Like they had, like it had been kept inside, away from the world,
solitary,
because they didn't know what hot water was.
Right.
They seen a TV and freaked out. They didn't know what a television was. They could barely communicate, and the kids were from ages 2 to 7, and the kids couldn't communicate. But the oldest, the 7-year-old, and her name was Mary, she was able to talk. And she asked they interviewed her. She said, "Yes, those are my teachers, and they teach us how to play games." And they was like, "What kind of games?" And she told them, sexual games. She was able to tell them that they came from Washington, D.C. And so they decided, the Tallahassee Police Department decided to call D.C. And D.C. had already heard about this group called the Finders. They was like, "Oh yeah, they on our radar." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're under suspicion for all of this shit.
Right.
So this shit opened up a big ass worldwide
investigation
of people who prey on kids from Africa to Europe. It's like a whole network of people, and some of the those 6 kids, the mothers gave their kids to these guys, the Finders.
Wow.
And so it was like the CIA, politicians, all kind of important people, names were fucking coming up.
Right.
So these guys get acquitted because they were arrested that day for child abuse.
Right.
So some kind of way, I don't know if they had a friend up high or something.
Most likely.
Yeah.
They were acquitted of the crimes and shit, and the case was dropped. And some years later, somebody picked the case back up. They started investigating, and they go to this compound in D.C. Where the little girl said they were from. And they found all kind of signs of satanic rituals, children's clothing, diapers, all kind of shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was getting close to important people.
Right.
And they squashed the fucking story. You never heard it again.
Right.
Some powerful people.
And I'm not even telling like 10% of the story.
Right.
It's a deep fucking rabbit hole. We can do a whole podcast on this cult.
Yeah.
And it's called the Finders Cult.
Yeah.
The Finders Cult.
And you don't know what they was doing to those kids.
They were fucking them, bro.
They was having sex, but sometimes they have satanic rituals
Yeah,
too.
they did.
Right.
It was signs of like killing them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Satanic rituals, yeah. Because I think like some of them motherfuckers believe they get power from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an innocent child.
Right.
Like
To drink a baby blood.
Yeah, it's a bunch of weirdo shit, bro.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, believe it or not, guys, there are satanic cults that are still here that are publicly known, and
Oh yeah.
and you can go to the website, you can pay to join, and you actually get involved. Like, for example, Our Lady of Endor.
Okay.
It was actually founded in 1948.
Wow.
Still around today, all right? Herbert Sloan basically is the founder, and how he got the people to roll with him was that when he was a kid, he claimed in the woods that he saw a horned god.
Wow.
And he realized it was Satan. Right. So he reread the Bible and said, "Oh shit, Satan is not the person who tempted Eve. It was the other way around." So in his church, right? So in his church, yeah, he actually preaches this. Man,
So Eve was twerking and
For the snake.
And the snake.
Sound like Lil Nas X
I
video.
feel it. Okay.
right?
Blame it on the woman.
Now, yes, and that's the thing. It is basically the Eve, and it's called the fall of man.
Wow.
And that's what it is. And they have thousands upon thousands of people that follow today.
It makes you also wonder too, because I was just thinking about this. I mean, when you think about biblically, when when Moses was on Mount Ararat, getting the 10 Commandments, his followers, or God's followers, they were down there building idols and had a cult going on.
Right.
Until he came back down and busted it all up.
Yeah.
So you think about Eve. I mean, earlier cults, are they just some form of word I'm looking
Unrecognized
for?
religions.
No, just rebellion. A rebellion
Right.
against what you're used to, So hey, I don't like this religion. You know what? I'm going to go start my own.
Yeah, against the
Yeah,
standard
you're-
religion.
And the same
That's
thing.
probably how all
groups and
religions
stuff,
start.
Yeah.
Right.
Shit.
Well, they also have the most probably the most famous is the Church of Satan.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Is that a cult or is
Oh,
that a church?
Yeah, is that
No,
church? Yeah, I'm about to say
see,
same thing.
The church is a cult, right? And they have a following, a huge goddamn following. They do rituals, the whole works. The fuck was that?
Erica
That was a
Young,
sound
was that
effect.
you?
Look,
Say,
fuck
where did that
all
come
y'all.
from?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
I need to do that more often.
What was
See,
that?
David?
I was like,
I was hoping no one was getting murdered in here.
I
Wow,
thought
I'm
this
sorry.
girl was okay.
That was
All
a
demon was screaming.
That was an accident, bro. That was good.
Okay.
Okay, I heard it again. Nice try, Trent.
So
No, it was
anyway,
an accident.
right.
It was an
Anyway, it was founded actually in 1966 by Antoine LaVey. You know, Church of Saints, and it still remains today. Very active. It has priests. It has politicians.
But they don't be sacrificing
Yeah,
babies
they don't
and
do
shit
that.
like the Finders.
Well, here got a problem with that. So there has been in all of the people I'm gonna read with you, there has been allegations of this, right? But they have big people, which I guess goes back to the Finder. They have big people where they get cut it, where you can't deal with it. Matter of fact, CIA investigates and says finds no wrongdoings.
Well, I mean, they're legally a church.
Yeah, they're legal.
But from the Faces of Death, there was a scene on one of the Faces of Death when they had the Satan worshippers, and they had one person that gave himself to them,
and
they cut him open, and they started having sex and using his body, started eating his body part. I mean, it's inside.
And
Sex.
start having sex.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember that.
Wow. Man, we've been doing all this talking, and we haven't talked about David Koresh.
Oh yeah.
Wait. I think I
Yes.
This is the Branch Davidians
In Waco, Texas.
here in our home state of Waco, Texas. But you know what? Know what I found out doing research? That it actually didn't even happen in Waco.
It was right outside the compound.
It
It is compound.
It actually happened in Axtell, Texas.
Oh wow.
Which is like is kind of close to Waco, but the cops who were in charge of the publicity part of it and shit said it would sound better the wacko from Waco instead of the wacko from Axtell.
Right.
And so they just say, hey, Waco's right down the street. Just call it. Just say
That's
Waco.
awesome. I didn't know that. That's a great.
I didn't know that either.
That's great.
Yeah. So these were the Branch Davidians. It was I actually watched the shit live on TV.
Yeah, I did.
Me
I
too.
remember
Yeah,
I
that.
was in my 20s.
I think it
Me
was
too.
like the whole compound burning down in
Yeah,
a
they
lake.
burned down.
You don't have to
And,
think. We was there. We was alive.
Yeah,
Were you alive?
I think I saw that footage at
So
the time.
this was
1994.
1993.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yes,
93.
I did see it.
It happened between February 28th and April 19th of 1993. It was 51 days.
Yeah.
The ATF were coming to serve a warrant for weapons violations on the Branch Davidians. And it was some type of firefight, and you had a bunch of women, children, men, and they didn't want to give up, whatever, so there were gunshots exchanged on each side. Actually, 4 ATF agents were killed, and 82 Branch Davidians. They were burned to fucking death. That shit
They set
that was
fire.
sad. I don't
was.
care who was wrong.
Yeah.
That was not the way to end that shit.
It shocked. I think it shocked America because
It
we
did.
were all watching it live.
I almost cried watching that shit.
Right.
I really didn't think they were going to storm the building like
The
that.
way
The way it happened,
right.
the way it played out.
I know
really
I know they
think so.
say all these gunshots were happening, but at us at home, all we really remember was that damn tank going in there and
Pushing
that
it in
fire.
there. Yeah.
So it just looked to me like the ATF and all of them just said fuck them.
It's over with.
Yeah.
That shit was sad, bro. I remember distinctly that day when they rushed in. I was at Chico's house. We were all sitting in front of the TV watching it live. And I was just like mesmerized. I was like, oh my God, all these people dying. They was like, man, come on, let's go play basketball. And I was just like so
Tuned in.
Yeah,
'Cause it was
tuned into
happening
that
live-
shit. Yeah,
live.
I couldn't believe it, bro. I couldn't
I was
believe it.
In actual
watching
time, it was happening.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, the thing that do you know the thing that caught their attention though?
Whose attention?
What caught the ATF and the FBI's attention?
Well, probably because he had they thought he was getting power or whatever. But the guns is what they said.
The guns was definitely it.
Right.
And the
That's
guy
what they
was armed
said.
to the bone, like.
But what's wrong with being armed to the bone?
No, see,
Well, the thing was, he believed so strongly in his opinion that his word was right that he would take it to the extreme to, fight to the death. And then he got his
it's a part of his
followers.
amendment
Well, they were
to be
saying
able to have guns.
he had weapons that were against the law to have, like automatic weapons.
Yes.
But-
Okay,
And
so
that's how the ATF got involved.
But my
with it.
thing is, Jay, I didn't mean to cut you
Oh,
off,
go ahead.
but it seemed I noticed like a pattern because these type of people with these cults that end like this, it seemed like nothing happens until they're provoked.
Okay, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
leave the people the fuck alone,
right,
and you wouldn't have had to kill 82 women,
right,
children.
Well, there are some statements that he started a fire, it caused the blaze, and then he ordered his followers to die with him
I don't
as a
believe
work of
that.
God.
No.
But, then it's just a theory. So we don't have to believe that it's a fact.
Okay,
Yeah,
so here go the thing. I mean, yes, I get what you're saying, but so here's the thing: the man was buying guns, and it wasn't even him; it was his followers actually purchasing guns, multiple guns. When that happened, it was the CIA or FBI, whichever one it was.
ATF.
No, it was CIA or FBI, whichever one it was. One of them two groups, right? They at that point they became on the radar. So they said they couldn't touch it because they had just got through killing the other guy.
Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge, yeah,
Right.
happened, yeah.
So they end up handing it off to ATF, right? And so now ATF needed a reason to get in there. Now here's the thing about that: there was these groups, these women and children. It was women and children. The police had them, and they were telling everything that David Koresh was doing in there. So they wanted to say, okay, we can try to get him on the with the
just wanted him.
Yeah, well, with the children, right? But they couldn't get that, right? They wanted on the weapons. And they say, damn, they couldn't get that. So they had to actually make up something because they've already put all their resources in there on him. Now, when you watch the Netflix version of it, the guy who was there with them, the main guy, that's the one who does the movie. Right. He does a real good job of explaining to you how important it was for them to find these things, that even the FBI member that went in there, the FBI agent that went in there undercover, came out and said, these people did no wrong. And they had him in court, and they just ruined his life.
That shit was fucking sad.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was really horrible because after that, that's when all these other weird things came out, that they burned themselves and did all of that.
That's what I thought they did.
Yeah, I honestly don't believe that.
Because making a case.
Because look at the people that they had. They had the black guy who was a big time as a criminal lawyer. Then they had the other white dude who was they had all of these people that could give this man advice if he was doing something wrong. Like we're talking about with guns and stuff like that.
And they would also let him fuck their wives and shit.
Well, that was but it was but yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, I can't
messed the story up right now, Jay.
I can't fuck with that. But what I'm saying is if that's what he chooses to do, fine.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right, that's fine. I'm just saying that they made it out like they actually had the right to go in there and do this when it would have been so many people alive.
I think sometimes you should just leave people alone.
Right, because all of those kids died, and the way that happened, they couldn't get out, and they had to have a score. The FBI had to have a score, and they used the ATF to do it. That's why both of them was there. The undercover was the FBI agent.
That's fucked up, bro.
I mean, it was
so you know what's in store for Jay's world when
Jay's family.
Jay's family.
Jay's family.
Started.
Nah, shit, it ain't gonna happen like that. We not burning up for shit.
Wow.
We killing everything.
I know what y'all gonna take.
I guess that's why you're gonna buy the automatics and go
They gonna see
postal.
the ATF come in and drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's drink the Kool-Aid, stay up all night. Let's get in our sniper watch, defend our godly town.
Or like Rachel said, the Flavor Aid. You probably wouldn't have real Kool-Aid.
Right, the Flavor Aid.
No, you gotta have real Kool-Aid, Jay.
Yeah, that real Kool-Aid.
Wow.
I don't know. It all depends. If it's it depends on the women that I have with me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
If you don't spend an extra dollar for the Kool-Aid.
Right. If I have a lot of women with me, I'm spending an extra $1. If it's a whole bunch of dudes, we just gonna drink the Flavor Aid.
I could definitely see Jay having his different diverse set of his concubines.
So why does the government feel that they have to watch groups like this?
Shit, it's obvious.
Well, I think so too. I mean,
because
man,
why is it obvious?
I know why.
Go ahead, spit it.
the reason why they have to watch is because they see all these people following this person, but all these people aren't working and they aren't paying taxes. They're paying all their wages is going to this man.
Yeah.
They don't like that.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
And when you have that much,
and they're scared of his power.
The power.
Yeah, the power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. All of that power being diverted away from the government. To this person.
Exactly.
And what happens when that happens? You get enough people. Fuck it. I'm gonna occupy this territory in the United States, and I'm gonna call it Jay's Town.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And now that's when the shit happens. So that's why.
I think part of it too is culturally at the time everybody was, a bunch of cowboys in the government kind of deal. It was like, hey, we're bombing the shit out of people, kicking people's ass all over the country, and you got this little guy here fucking with people, and we're not gonna let him sit there fucking with us for 51 days. And that's what they, Janet Reno. Yeah, go in there and just kick some ass. And
right.
That was kind of the attitude. Yeah, it was. And then social media came along and people started looking at things more differently.
In depth. Yes,
definitely.
Because if you're the government and you already know this person is buying these weapons, they have their own compound. They're basically being self-sufficient, right?
Yeah.
And hey, you done fucked up some shit over here. You got a bad rap. You need a win. You just became the head. You need to win some sort of way.
It's kind of like you're like beating one person to keep the other people in line. So
that's exactly it.
So
that's exactly it.
I'm not going to start something like that because this is what's going to happen to me.
Well, Jay, I think we ought to keep your little stockpile of slingshots. You got to keep them on the low.
Yeah, on the cool. Yeah,
AR-17s and some Taskmaster rifles to hide away.
David is going to jail, guys.
I know, right? He just told on himself.
He just told straight on himself for no reason.
No. I could picture you in your cult thing. AR-15, AR-17.
Do not deflect, sir.
Why don't you just get some ghost guns?
Ghost guns, yes. Let's get him some ghost guns. And be like, believe in the power of Jay. I shall shoot you the truth.
This man is drugs. Stay away from drugs.
No, maybe you should try some drugs.
You think if he try some drugs, it'll calm him down?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
One of them brownies.
Right. Hold on, man.
Brownies?
Hey, okay. So just, because we're getting that point, guys, we got to bring it home. But let me tell you this right here. So in episodes, just so you know, David basically drank some drugs with urine on him. Right?
What?
In an episode, he said that he would drink pee.
No, you said he did.
No. You all said.
Be clear.
Okay.
Don't say that.
Please be clear.
What you mean?
Marijuana?
You said David drank some drugs.
Mushrooms or marijuana?
The shit you said was fucked up. It didn't happen. What you said didn't happen.
I'm saying in an episode. I
know. It didn't happen.
Okay. Wow. That was there, right? Number 2, David at that point had his underwear with the clown.
Taken by a clown.
Yeah. He made the noise of being raped by Chewbacca or some shit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I mean, so, and now he just confessed to some military weapons, great weapons.
I know, right?
So, at this point in time, guys, I need you guys to understand that David is just here.
We might be in danger.
Yeah. He just he just here. We don't co-sign on this shit. I don't. So protect us.
And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, this is entertainment. Just what Jay said, he just took a little bit of fragments and turned it into a joke.
David is a Viking.
Right?
Yeah, he's a Viking. He's from Greek.
World's first Mexican Viking.
Yeah.
Mexican Viking, yes, moderator, you could say that. But
that actually
to be fair on kind of, picking on both of you, Jay, the Mr. Dark Lord whatsoever, if you're doing your whole cult thing or whatsoever, you're already going to be pissing off Satan. Mr. Moderator, I know you're super cool and everything else.
There you go.
But sometimes, it's just like, I don't understand why you would just pick little fragments and then believe that I would take the stim pack and actually drink it. I remember saying the stim pack is called the stim pack of the Vikings. They use the urine and the mushrooms to do it. But I said it as a joke for science.
And
I don't understand why people are taking it so literal.
And you said that he didn't say the shit. I said it. He just said it again.
He didn't say he did it. He said he would do it for science.
He would do it for science.
As a joke.
Yeah.
Why are you taking this so literal, guys?
Okay, as a joke, you would drink urine for
You're
science.
so literal.
That's a big
What's
deal.
wrong with you? Mr.
Oh,
Moderator,
wow.
you're supposed to be calming down the people.
Okay, calm down, kids.
Not the Dominator.
Calm
I should
down.
turn your gaze to the Dominator.
All right, hold on. So anyway, guys, just to have a little fun with you. That's all. Trent have said it multiple times that I'm gonna get to hell and Satan is gonna butt rape me or something. You know, and that's okay, I guess. Shit, I mean, what can you do, right? I'll be down there with Nas X or whatever.
Yeah, Nas X, because he's bringing hell back. He's making it hot again.
See, there you go.
Nice,
There you go.
it's making it sexy.
cool
There you go.
again.
There
Bring
you
up
go.
the heat.
All right, calm down. So as you can see, guys, today is a weird day for us, and we have no order back here.
Moderator, please moderate us.
I'm waiting for him to wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Be
Come on.
quiet. It's a weird day. People lost their minds.
Probably because it's Sunday.
I'd like
Right.
to say one thing before you do wrap up. You know, just for people listening, I mean, because to me, the definition, and I think a lot of us here, of cult has changed over the years. And we all have to be cognizant of people who we follow, who we listen to, and what's going on right now in our country and in our lives and stuff. You know, and don't get caught up into this cultish personality type of thing and get into being a cult. I mean, think for yourselves. Look at what's going on, you know, and think with your heart.
Well said.
Hey, man,
Well said.
he just took my
I'm
end.
sorry, I just wanted.
No, it's
I just felt
okay.
like I needed to put that out there.
No, you did
All right?
good. You did good. So from the Urban Paranormal Podcast, my name is Jay.
And I'm your moderator, Trent A. Johnson, and I don't drink mushroom and urine
Dominator. You're going to be changed to Dominator.
or still packs, and we are out of here.
All right.
Doses.
Amen.
Peace.
Thank you.